Hey, what's going on? Ryan here with Intersection Records. I wanted to talk today about Crossroads Guitar Festival 2004. That happened 20 years ago this weekend in Dallas, Texas, and I was there with my brother. I flew in from St. Louis. My brother drove up from Houston, picked me up at the airport, and we went straight to the event. It was held at the Fair Park area in downtown Dallas, which is next to the Cotton Bowl. So the first day, the Saturday, June 5th, was held at Fair Park, and then the next day they moved into the football stadium, the Cotton Bowl, on the 6th. And it was really just an amazing weekend of guitar rock. I mean, everything guitar, from booths and setups and seminars held by people like Jeff Skunk Baxter, to old-time blues legends like Honey Boy Williams and some of his final appearances. We got there and saw Sonny Curtis, Buck Page, Norm Stevens, and Ramblin' Jack Elliott performing. Then we saw Johnny Lang, young gunslinger at the time. We then went in and saw a seminar held by Jeff Skunk Baxter, formerly of Steely Dan and Doobie Brothers, an interesting guy. And that ended up being the only time I ever saw him live. We moved back outside for Eric Johnson. I had never seen Eric Johnson. That really still is the only time. He did Desert Rose. He did the Cliffs of Dover. And seeing him play in his home state was incredible. Vishwa Mohan Bhatt was next, and Indian influenced guitar playing. Tyler Tominski was next, fresh off of the Oh Brother Where Art Thou movie and all that great music that he did with Jerry Douglas and Alison Krauss and all that stuff. Meanwhile, Eric Clapton's Crossroads is about his rehabilitation for drugs and alcohol center down in Antigua. And he was auctioning off guitars. Lots of the money was being earned was to benefit this rehabilitation drug rehab. And Eric is the master of ceremonies. And Eric, in this outdoor area, it's not a stadium, it's not an amphitheater, it's just like a big civic area between some, museums. Eric's milling around from the soundboard back to the stage. So you're seeing Eric up close working this event. And, I know there was some sort of festival in 1999, but this was really the first guitar festival. Then comes out J.J. Cale. I was a huge J.J. Cale fan in college. I had his album Troubadour, and Eric Clapton joins J.J. Cale on stage. J.J. Cale wrote songs like After Midnight and Cocaine and Call Me the Breeze, and some of these songs that other people made famous. Clapton came out and J.J. Cale and him did Call Me the Breeze and After Midnight, which was incredible to see. John Mayer came out next. At the time, John Mayer was a pop artist. We didn't know that he was a gunslinger, and to see him up close and personal playing guitar at a high level was incredible. Robert Randolph came out next, and then there was a great blues jam featuring Clapton, Eric Clapton, Buddy Guy, Robert Cray, Robert Randolph, Jimmy Vaughn, and Hubert Sumlin, who was the guitar player in Howlin' Wolf's band. They did Sweet Home Chicago, Six Strings Down, and Killing Floor, amongst other songs. It was fantastic. Went to bed that night, got up, it was 95 degrees, and we hit the Cotton Bowl grounds. We got there to see Neil Schon perform the national anthem at the stadium by himself. Notes say that Jonathan Cain was with him from Journey. I don't know that. I've also heard that Narada Michael Walden was there, who was playing drums in Journey at that time briefly, and Randy Jackson. I think maybe they performed somewhere else on the grounds, but we did not see that. We saw Neil Schon do the national anthem, which was cool, which segues straight into Steve Vai with his band with Tony McAlpine and Billy Sheehan, and they just crushed it. I'd never seen him. Sonny Landreth came out next. He's always great to see live. Larry Carlton and his band played next. Larry Carlton says you might remember this song, and he played Josie by Steely Dan. Larry Carlton, famous for his band Foreplay and with other people that he's worked with over the years. Jazz Crusaders. Then we had the Pat Metheny Trio featuring Antonio Sanchez and Christian McBride on bass. You know, around that time I'd been seeing Metheny a couple times a year. It was cool. But then John McLaughlin. I had seen McLaughlin in 1999 with his Shakti band. This was Dennis Chambers on drums and Zakir Hussain on tabla and John on guitar. You can see on the internet the band do tones for Elvin Jones. They also played the Mahavishnu Orchestra classic You Know, and it was one of the highlights for me. It was just awe-inspiring to see him play guitar, and Dennis Chambers, great drummer. Dennis Chambers would play with Santana later in his band that night. Robert Cray band plays then, Jimmy Vaughn plays, Hubert Someone then does a guest spot with David Johansen from New York Dolls on vocals. That was cool. Booker T and the MGs then came out and did Green Onions with, you know, Donald Duck Dung and Steve Cropper. Then comes out Bo Diddley, being backed by by Booker T and the MGs. That was incredible. David Hidalgo from Los Lobos came out and jammed with them. Joe Walsh came out and jammed with Booker T as the backing band. They then set up, and James Taylor's band comes out with Jimmy Johnson on bass, and Michael Landau, James Taylor. Total mellow section, obviously, of the show. I think they did Carolina in My Mind. They did Steamroller, which is kind of a blues song. Joe Walsh comes out and blows the doors off of the place at this point. Joe Walsh had previously been out with Booker T doing Funk 49 and Rocky Mountain Way, which, of course, you know, it's daylight outside, by the way, and it's just cool to see that. He was crazy that night and fun. Vince Gill and Jerry Douglas then come out. This is before James Taylor, so Jerry Douglas and Vince Gill came out with Booker T backing him. Of course, those are two of the great players. Dobro playing by Jerry Douglas. Vince Gill is just one of the most exciting guitar players on earth, and coincidentally, he's sandwiched in there with Joe Walsh, who would end up playing with each other in the Eagles. After James Taylor's band leaves and Joe Walsh leaves, we have Buddy Guy's band. There's a duel. They bring out John Mayer again, and there's a little bit of a guitar duel. Buddy Guy was playing notes and comes over, and while he's holding a note, grabs his drink and drinks it in Mayer's face, and then Mayer just goes off, crushes some stuff, throws his axe down and walks off, say, "Take that." And I think there was a little bit of a heated moment there between those two legends. Then comes out B.B. King, at which point you have a John Mayer, Buddy Guy, B.B. King, Jimmy Vaughn, and Eric Clapton jammed together. It was weird to see John Mayer up there with those guys, with Buddy Guy, B.B. King, Clapton, and Vaughn. I think Robert Cray was up there too. It was interesting that 20 years ago, so this is 20 years ago, that Mayer was thought of by Clapton in that type of light, and he was able to hold his own. Then the Santana band plays, and it's just incredible, as Santana always is. Clapton came out for Jingo. Seeing Clapton jam with Eric Clapton for the first time, it was something that a guitar fan, that's the holy grail. After that, Eric Clapton's band performs. They did I Shot the Sheriff. They did Cocaine. He's got Billy Preston in his band. He's got Steve Gadd on drums in his band. Jeff Beck came out. They did So We Ended as Lovers. I believe Beck's band was there too. Some of this is a little foggy. In fact, I think it was Clapton's band first, then Jeff Beck with Clapton, and then ZZ Top. But seeing Clapton and Jeff Beck jam together, similar to the Santana piece, there was a section in So We Ended as Lovers that was some of the best guitar playing up to that point I'd ever seen in my life. And really to this day, a lot of this is on a 2-disc CD and DVD. The Beck Clapton part is not. A ZZ Top had to cut their set short because thunderstorms were coming in hard and it got really nasty that night in Dallas. But it was just an incredible night of music. Just wanted to revisit that from 20 years ago this weekend. Check out my channel. We do shows every single day. Peace out. See you.